Guys, I did it. I finished my book. Hi guys, welcome back to another video. My name is Peyton and I am a speculative fiction writer working on Project Old Lovers, an adult fantasy with some romance in there, and we are getting really close to finishing our first draft. It's been a busy day. It's Monday, November 11th. I've been doing a lot of errands for the coffee shop, admin. It's about 3:44. I have a few more errands to run today, but I really wanted to squeeze in a writing session. I think I'm gonna have to call my writing session there for today. I only wrote for about 40 minutes and only got 582 words. It's been like, I don't know, 2 weeks probably since I've actually sat down and wrote, which is a long time to be away from this project when I'm so close to the end. So it feels like I'm kind of stepping back into it. But it's starting to get dark and I need to walk the dog and finish some other errands, so maybe I will come back to this today. Maybe I can squeeze in some writing time tomorrow. I'm definitely going to need to write at least a little bit every day over the next few days because I have 14 days left in my deadline. That's including the day of November 24th. It says I need to write 869 words for those 14 days, which is frustrating because it used to be like 300 some words a day and that was like la-di-da really easy, and now I'm like, I can't even meet that right now. Like, I'm only at 582 out of those 869 and that's frustrating. There's definitely more in this chapter I need to write, and I have the outline of those scenes that need to be written. It's just they're coming very slowly, probably because I just haven't written in a couple weeks, so I need to get back into it, and my brain is still distracted by those other errands, so I need to go do those. I need to go walk the dog, and we'll see. Maybe we'll write more today, or we'll find time in the week to write a little more consistently. I am definitely feeling the stress. It's getting to me. It's a bit of crunch time now. Morning. Wow, you can barely see me. Okay. So it is 5 a.m. on Saturday, November 20. Nope. It is 5 a.m. on Saturday, November 16th. And I'm about to go pick up pastries from our wholesale baker for the coffee shop. Normally, I would not do this on a Saturday because we're closed Sunday, Monday. But we have a special blanket making workshop and Saturdays have been busier, so we need some goodies. All good things. 5 a.m. journey for sweet treats, but not for me. Hello again. So for my birthday, my fiance got me this softbox light, which is like a crazy professional photographer, videographer piece of equipment to create really, really cool lighting. I've never used one before. I've never set one up. I haven't set this one up yet. So this is the behind the scenes of me trying to figure out how to set it up and use it. So let's try to set up this softbox light and get it working. lighting like? Wow, okay, so that's way too harsh. Wow, that's very bright. Holy cow. Very different lighting. Okay, so I'm gonna have to learn how to use this light properly. I've heard of and kind of used like a Hurley setup before where you have 3 different lights at 3 different angles and then you might have like a bounce. I also don't have that remote that would let me change the modes, whatever that means, the brightness, how soft and hard this light is. So I guess this, I don't know if this is the middle ground, if this light can become harder or a lot softer. I'm interested to get batteries in that remote and see, but you can totally see details that you couldn't before. Like you can see the red powder that I use underneath my eyes more. Sorry, I'm probably way too close. I mean, you can also tell from like here versus in my normal lighting in my other videos. This is gonna be a game changer once I figured this out. Good afternoon. Good afternoon to you too. Hi, baby. Hi, baby girl. It is Monday, November 18th. It has been probably like a month, maybe a little bit more than a month since I've had time to myself on a Monday. For the past month, I have just been running coffee shop errands like crazy, like basically all day on Mondays, and then I come back home and I make dinner and do a few other side projects that I have going on and maybe play a video game for an hour, and that's been my Monday for about a month now. So I'm excited to be home this afternoon. I did go do a bunch of work and errands this morning, but it was still more chill. I didn't have to go into this Hey, can you not do this now? Can you sit? I do still have to do work, but I can do some of this work from home and have a little bit more of a chill day on this rainy day. You silly girl. Goodness gracious. Goodness gracious. So what I have in front of me right now is a big old box for the coffee shop. I have our delivery set up so that when we are closed, if they have to deliver an item, they just deliver it to our home instead. Since we are doing a coffee shop update portion of this video, I thought this would be cool to share with you guys. I don't know what's in this package right now, but just what kind of things I order for the coffee shop and how that goes, a little more behind the scenes on that part. If you're not interested in coffee shop stuff, I am going to put little chapters in this video and you can just skip ahead. You won't hurt my feelings. Go to the writing content. It's all good. All right, let's find out what is in this box. Okay. So we've got our little Amazon receipt. Yeah, they fit a lot of stuff in this one. That's good. Sometimes I feel like however the warehouses are set up, they just ship a lot of little boxes sometimes, and it's really annoying. Okay, so I've got more of our organic sweet matcha powder. Let me actually come down here and talk to you guys about this. Hello, my face. So we serve an organic sweet matcha. We do a sweet matcha, which means it's already sweet and there's already sugar in it, because we're in such a small town where before we started serving it on our menu, nobody knew what it was. Maybe yes, maybe like 1 or 2 people knew what matcha was, but they hadn't had it before. So we're definitely globalizing my little small town farming community. And now matcha is a staple. There is a matcha shortage going on right now, so that's why I ordered just 1 extra bag for us, even though we kind of have plenty. I don't know like the full details of it, if it's just affecting Japan specifically because they're exporting all of it, or if that's going to affect us further down the supply chain yet. So I just stocking up a little bit on that one. And then I got us this peanut butter syrup. This is something that people have been asking us for a lot. Like they want peanut butter chocolate fraps and things like that. I'm going to experiment with this one. I normally don't order this brand, Da Vinci. I've heard good things about it. I'm more of a Monin girl, but I only wanted one bottle and this was like the best price and it had a lot of really good reviews. So I went on a limb. I want to use this for one of our drink flights and see how that goes. And maybe if it's really popular, if people are really excited about it, we get good feedback, then I'll get a peanut butter syrup more regularly on our menu and do some signature drinks with that. So I'm excited about the peanut butter syrup. I think people will be happy. They might be mad at me because it's in a drink flight and not just a, sorry, I forget we're at a weird angle right now. It's in a drink flight. So they might be mad at me because it's in a drink flight and not a regular menu item, but we'll get there. I kind of just do what I need to do because there's so much going on that I can't release everything all the time. Like I used to do that. Like we had a request for banana syrup, which I think is so niche and strange and like kind of gross to me. And now nobody orders it. Like I put a banana mocha on our signature menu every now and then, but we've had these banana syrups on our shelves forever. They're not expired yet. They are shelf stable for a while, but after that and a couple other things, I was like, you know what? I'm not gonna listen to requests so much anymore, and I'm gonna do more of what we want to do. Oftentimes when I've listened to these requests and I've granted them, there's not a lot of payoff for it, versus when I listen to my gut and market research trends. Like the matcha, for example, it goes over really well. Like everyone was like, what's matcha? That's so gross. No one's gonna order that. We don't need that. And now everyone loves it and they're like, oh, this is my new favorite drink. Like you introduced me to this. So it's a strange thing. I think it's because we're in such a small town. Like matcha is such a standard coffee shop menu item in suburbs and cities. So a lot of you guys probably, this sounds crazy to you. Okay. So I got Da Vinci pumps. Like you guys would not believe how finicky syrup pumps are. Hey, no. But they just have tweaked these things to the slightest where if you don't have the right brand, it's gonna overflow when you put the pump into the bottle, or it won't reach, or it'll be too long. Like the tube will be too long. It's ridiculous. So, oh, these are exciting. So these are some cute new packaging that I have for our new pastries. Some of them are quite large, so they don't fit. So I got something that's a little bigger and cuter, and I'm very excited for these. Ooh, I'm so excited for this one. So this is Monin. This is normally what we supply. I've been excited about this for this flavor, and I finally got it. It is a nice cherry flavor. I feel like cherry is a little bit Christmassy. It's not the most Christmassy, but a lot of people ask us actually around the holiday season for cherry flavored things. And then if you guys pay attention to coffee shops at all, the Nitro Bar in Rhode Island has made cherry vanilla lattes like viral and everyone wants them. So now we can do those. What is this last box? Box to box. Oh, exciting. Okay, so these are brown handle bags, like brown craft paper handle bags. They're cuter, they're more aesthetic than what we currently have. They're in varying sizes for the different goods that we have. We have a stamp that I can try on them, see if that'll work, or we still have our branded stickers. That is everything that is in this giant box. and it's all very exciting stuff. I think I'm mostly excited for the cherry syrup, but I know people will be like feral for this peanut butter syrup too. So for Christmas last year, my fiance got me this very neat like book embosser. It has my initials, my first and my middle initial, since my last name will be changing eventually. But to commemorate this cozy day to myself, something I've been meaning to do is to catch up on books and adding them to my library. And I have been in such a huge book slump since finishing Throne of Glass. The last of that series, Kingdom of Ash, just destroyed me. It was such a good series. It's really hard to move on from it. I still think about it daily. So I just want to spend a little bit more time with it. And I do have a few books from the Court of Thorns and Rose series that I need to stamp as well. So I'm going to officially initiate these books into my library. This year, to expand the coffee shop's Christmas decorations, I've decided to make little gingerbread houses, and I'm just gonna paint them and decorate them and have some cozy craft time. Okay, so my lighting isn't fantastic, my audio is not fantastic, but I am working on these little gingerbread houses for the coffee shop. Winter decorations. We're doing a really big Christmas market this year. Hold on, and when I say really big, I mean for our area. That's the first time I'm doing it, so it feels really big to me. We're in a very small, like, remote town. There's not a lot of other shops, and there's like over 300 people interested in our Facebook event, which is big for this area. Only like 20 some people have committed to going, so I'm not sure what the turnout's gonna be, but I am planning for there to be somewhere between 50 to 100. I don't know. It's stressing me out, but I'd just like to chat with you guys a little bit more about the coffee shop and what's been going on while I add the snow to my little gingerbread houses. The Christmas market is stressing me out, but like in the best way possible. If it's a success this year, then we'll do it next year. If not, then we won't. We had a blanket making workshop. I don't teach those. I get local artists to come in and teach those. And she kind of brought up decorations. She had like a little market in the woods because she lives in the woods on her property, and she asked me how I was decorating, and I was like, well, just for Christmas. And then I realized, like, I'm making these gingerbread houses. We have decorations for the coffee shop, but there are like these 2 other spaces that I will also need to decorate, and I don't have enough stuff. I don't have a plan. And this lady, I was just like dumbfounded. She's like, do you want help decorating? I have tons of stuff. I have these things. She was showing me pictures of what she did, and I'm like, yes, please, if you really don't mind. I thought I would get these done a lot faster than I actually am. I seriously thought these were only gonna take me like two nights, maybe like 10 hours, good 5-hour chunks each night. No. It's been a lot more than that. So then I started watching Lost, which is really good. I've never seen it before, but like I've heard it's one of the best TV shows like ever written. And I can see that for parts of it. I know it does get bad. I feel like it's been a while since I've watched TV. So to just watch the storytelling in a different format was nice. I still haven't finished it. I haven't watched it in probably a week now. But then I realized I'm super off balance with my writing routine and my writing goal, and I was getting burnt out because we've been getting busier at the coffee shop. So then I'm there a lot more, which is all really great things. I'm really, really happy about it. We're just in an awkward like scaling thing right now. And I still need to go do errands for the coffee shop today. It's about 4 o'clock. I don't have to go to like the city, but there's like a nearby town where I can do a specific set of tasks for the coffee shop. Plus our weekly grocery shopping. I just needed a break. I've been watching a lot of cafe owner vlogs lately as opposed to AuthorTube because I've been interacting with AuthorTube a lot. I have some AuthorTube like friends on social media that I interact with. I just feel less alone in that, and I feel a lot more alone right now in my coffee shop journey because there aren't any other retail businesses. There aren't really any other coffee shops around us. The ones that are around us, like our coffee roaster who we get our coffee beans from, they are operating on a much larger scale than we are. But the coffee shop owners that I'm watching on YouTube are more on our level, and they're a little farther ahead, but they aren't that far off. Like I can see us getting to that point. Like that's our future. So they're just a little bit closer to where I'm at. And it's nice to see how they're doing things, what they're doing, the systems that they're creating, what they're serving. It's been a very long day. And I've written 882 words in about an hour. And I want to stop writing just because what I'm writing is like total trash right now, to be honest. It's not good, but I also want to keep writing because I'm so close to finishing and I know the first draft is bad anyway, so I kind of just want to get it done so I can move on to the next part. Like I don't know what my problem has been this past like week or two. I've just been so ready to move on to revision, but I'm not done yet. So maybe I think I'm just gonna make myself keep writing because it's gonna get rewritten, revised anyway. Do you guys have this problem? Have you guys ever had this problem when writing? I don't know. This is self-discipline, I guess, is what we're calling this. I'm gonna try and keep going. There's seriously only like 1 or 2 more chapters left that I need to write. So something that's been helping me really get into my writing scenes, because it's like a very difficult, rough transition right now. When I go from working and I'm jumping straight into writing instead of having any kind of like small break or making dinner or catching up with my fiance. So to make it a little easier, I am looking over my Pinterest board that correlates to those scenes, and I'm listening to the songs in my Spotify playlists as well to get the gears turning so that I can transition into a smoother writing session as opposed to just staring blankly at a piece of paper. Guys, I did it. I finished my book. Well, I finished the first draft of my book last night in bed of all places. I was kind of shocked by that. I had written most of this book at my desk. I guess a few times I went and wrote out of the house. And then at the tail end, to power through, I started writing on the couch and we finished it in bed, nice and cozy. And I posted on my Insta story, you can go follow that over here. It's like, I think I finished my novel, but like I'm super paranoid because it doesn't feel like I finished it. And that's because I had already written the ending. So the chapter that I finished writing was like the beginning of Act 3. Shortly after Act 3, somewhere in there. So it didn't feel like the ending, but that makes sense to me. I was also talking on Instagram with some writers who were congratulating me, and it's crazy how you work on something for months and months and months, and you're basically doing the same action over and over again, sitting down and typing, getting words on the page. And I think the weird thing about finishing a book versus achieving other goals is that it is it is like a marathon. Eventually you type those last words and it feels kind of anticlimactic because it's what you've been doing all along. But it also feels really good. What I am going to do is take a nice break and celebrate a little bit. I am going to go up to Chicago next week and visit some friends that I haven't seen in a while. And that's going to be like my mini celebration. The coffee shop will be closed for a few days next week for the holidays. So that'll feel like a mini break for me. I just have like one more big push to get all the Christmas drinks out for that. But in terms of the book, I did it. And I did it a few days early. Like my soft goal even was to finish on November 24th. I finished last night on November 20th. Today is November 21st. And that feels amazing. Did I reach my 50,000 word count goal for my manuscript? No. And that's okay. And that's what writers kind of mean when word count is meaningless. It's a good gauge. It's a good motivator. There are industry standards for polished, finished manuscripts, but that's not what this is. If you're in the first draft phase, it doesn't matter. So let me check how many words I did finish on. So I finished my first draft with 46,422 words. So I was really close to that 50,000 word estimate. And that was set more as just a more tangible goal. So it felt like I had something to work towards. If I want to publish this as a novella, then yes, it would need to be at least 50,000 words. But I know from my writing during my first draft that some of the chapters are more fleshed out than others, and even those well fleshed out drafting pages still need stuff added to them. So I know the word count will go up. It's the first story that I've written, so I'm trying not to get too caught up in the words and just see what happens with it. But I'm getting more giddy. The more I think about it, the more I talk about it, the more I'm just like, dang, I did that. And I did it faster than I thought. So I got the idea for this book in like March or May of 2023. And at that time, all I did was write a note in my phone. And then maybe a week later, I wrote a rough outline. And then because of the algorithm gods, I realized that the piece I was missing before when I had tried to write was story structure. So I decided to study up on that, read up on some of that. And then I didn't do anything with that outline. I just let it sit for like a year. I think in March of 2024, I started to actually write this, and I started watching more author tubers. And in the summer of 2024, I made my first author tube video. And that is kind of when I started to write more seriously. Because I think when I started writing in March, I don't think I wrote anything again for like a month after that. And then I was like, you know what? I really want to do this. This is really important to me. That's when I decided I really needed to take this book writing thing more seriously. And then AuthorTube followed, and it's amazing accountability. So anyway, I'm very excited that I finished my first draft. I'm going to go celebrate next week. And then I need to figure out how I'm going to print this thing, what format I'm going to do that in, how I'm doing it. There is like no title. For some reason, I've had the hardest time titling it. Part of me doesn't feel bad about that because the book didn't fully exist at that time. And only recently, once I got into the last stretch, did I have any ideas at all. And I finally made a note in my notes app on my phone to start collecting some of those ideas and picking and pulling certain themes that I can work with. So I'm excited for revision. The first draft journey is officially over and we're heading into revising. All right, I need to go buy my train tickets for Chicago and get to work and do a bunch of other things, but I wanted to share that with you guys this morning because I was just processing it last night. Like, it's crazy. It's done. The first draft is done.